Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Heart with Simon. I come to you. Oh, I am frozen here. Okay. This is Simon Dillon. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Heart with Simon. And we go live in on the radio in 8 seconds. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Heart with Simon. कैसे हैं आप लोग? How is everyone doing? I come to you every Thursday from 1 to 2, and I believe in touching lives. So I come here and I hope that just I talk about my life and talk about everything which is meaningful in my life or which is happening in my life. कि जिस तरह मैं अपनी चीज़ों के बारे में बात करूं उस तरह I hope that I'm able to touch lives. So मैं आती हूँ heart to heart with Saima. I bring my heart अपनी हथेली पे लेके and I come here and I'm hoping that I'm able to, we touch your lives and together we are able to touch lives as we go on. So something exciting that is happening in my life. Well, I am about to begin a new podcast, which is going to start. So, the way the radio show is structured, the way the radio show goes, this is going to continue as is. इसमें कोई तब्दीली नहीं आएगी. But I am going to be starting a podcast, which is going to be on building wealth. Building wealth. And I would love, ये जो है, I'm going to be streaming this live on social media. And when I'm streaming this live, it's going to be on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. And I would love for you people, especially people who are interested in building wealth, to join me and follow me on social media under Saima Malik Dillon. And follow me on Saima Dillon, Saima Malik Dillon. I do have a business page on Facebook and I have my personal page, so follow me. I am going to be talking about building wealth, and I'm going to be bringing in guests every week as I start my podcast for building wealth. Join me from anywhere in the world, and I consider myself to be a student for life. And as I'm a student for life and I learn and I evolve, I would love for anyone who wants to join me in this journey of building wealth. I would love for you to join me on this journey. Having said that, we are real estate is something that I've done for almost 19 years. 19 years ho jayenge in October. So I've done real estate for 19 years. I believe and I preach this, that every individual needs to be a real estate investor. So every individual needs to be a real estate investor. Every individual needs to have five different properties, whether they're commercial, they are residential, whatever it is that you are comfortable with, because not everyone wants to get into commercial real estate. So whatever it is that you are comfortable with doing, that you are comfortable with building, you do whatever it is that you are comfortable with. And but bottom line is you need to have five investment properties which are generating you passive income. 5 investment properties. The goal needs to be that these properties get paid off in the next 10 to 12 years' time. These properties are completely paid off in the next 10 to 12 years. You should be generating around $15,000 in passive income. That's what the goal needs to be. $15,000 in passive income. If you are at the age of 50, by the time 60 hits, you should have $15,000 in passive income. If you have kids and your kids are starting colleges, you need to help, and you are financially in a good place, you need to help your children become real estate investors. Help your kids do basically exactly what I'm doing. I have two daughters, they're 22 and 18, and I am teaching my daughters about building wealth, about real estate investment. You need to do the same thing. You need to get your children, help them with the down payment money that is needed. If your child is going to get this investment property, help them with the down payment money that they need. Most people right now, they're of this mindset that they're just sitting there and they're waiting, and that's what the masses do. The masses, they sit and they wait. But right now, in the world of real estate investment, this period is actually what is considered a golden opportunity. This golden opportunity is this phase where, yes, you're probably thinking, what is she talking about? Because right now the interest rates are so high. How can this period be considered like a window of opportunity? But ye jo time hai, real estate investors consider this time to be a golden opportunity, a window of opportunity for investors to jump in. The prices are down by around 20%. I'm just giving average numbers. So Dallas Fort Worth ke andar bhi, depending on which part of Dallas, whether आप Frisco mein hain, you're in Little Elm, you're in Aubrey. So different cities, you're in Fort Worth or Grapevine or South Lake, different cities have a different, हर city में differently real estate के reactions हैं. Okay, so it's not consistent throughout DFW Metroplex. It's different based on the city. So based on the city, different cities reacting differently, different things are happening, but they are around 20% इस वक्त dip हुई भी है market. But there's not a whole lot of inventory in the market. But builders are still building. They're not building as much as they were building before. The permits have gone down, but builders are still building, and builders are offering tremendous incentives. If you have kids, you have the ability to buy. Reach out to me. 972-244-3106. 972-244-3106. VIP@saimadillon.com. VIP like Victor India Papa at Saimadillon, SAIMADillon.com. VIP@saimadillon.com. If you have kids, there are properties in the DFW Metroplex which are close to $300,000. If your kids are studying, they are in colleges, help your children become real estate investors, have your kids invest, helping them with the down payment money, help them buy these properties. It should at least be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, so that they rent out the master bedroom, they rent out the secondary bedroom, they rent out these rooms, and they generate passive income by renting out these individual rooms on campus to other students. When they do that, they start learning how to become a landlord. It teaches them real estate investment. It teaches them, if they are 20 or 21 years old and they buy this first property while they're in college, when they graduate, they leave the property as is with students renting out this property, and maybe use one of the students, give them a break on their rent, let them do property management for you, and let them maintain the property, and you move on to your next, whether you're going for your master's somewhere else, you have found a job in a different place, and you're getting ready to move to a different city. But wherever you go, You buy real estate wherever you go. If you start doing this at the age of 20, 21, 24, 25, by the time you start building wealth through real estate and you start so young, you in 10 years time, 12 years time, you are already going to be building assets. In 15 years time, you have around 3 properties which are paid off and they are generating you 10 grand in income. And you're just hitting your 30s, or you are in your mid 30s, or you are 40 years old. Just imagine generating passive income, but because you are investing in real estate properties, in real estate investments you're doing, you are going to be generating passive income, which gives you the leverage that you're looking for. There are multiple things that can happen at this point. And this is where we segue into, building wealth through real estate investments. There are, you know, there are, you're able to invest in real estate. It is one of the best ways to accumulate wealth. They're not making any more land. So jitna land hai, utna hi land rahega. What you are doing is you're leveraging. There are multiple things you are able to do to build wealth. Wealth grows through compounding, which means putting money into something on the expectation that you will receive more money back later. So, historically, real estate has been a consistent compounder for a simple reason that there is just all this land that you can build on, right? Real estate harnesses the power of supply and demand and channels it into your portfolio. So the fundamental rules of supply and demand, they tell us if there's a limited supply of something or if there's a high demand, which is going to result in higher prices. So in the past few years, if you have been watching what's going on in the Dallas Fort Worth market, if you were an investor and you had investment properties by 2000, by 2019, yes, we went through COVID, and if you had the investment properties, the rental went up during that time. In 2021, there was a frenzy in the market. Let's talk about DFW area. The amount There are around approximately 1,200 people moving to the DFW area every single month. The number of headquarters which have moved to the Dallas Fort Worth area, it's such a big number. So many people relocating to the Dallas Fort Worth area. Dallas Fort Worth has prime market. The market in Dallas Fort Worth has been getting stronger and stronger. So irrespective, so I was at this event and I met someone, and this person is like, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. You know what? It doesn't matter what anyone says. Substantiate it with numbers. When we are out there, we are working with people, we are in the field working with other agents. Dallas market is doing so well and it's going strong. Commercial real estate market. Yes, on the residential side, inventory is less because the interest rates that people have on their existing homes, 3.5, 2.9, 4%. The interest rates are so low that people are reluctant to sell their homes to move into another house. But in the world of real estate investing, we are still not seeing too many foreclosures. We are not seeing everything that comes into the market. It's disappearing on the back end, where investors are coming in, and investors on the back end, right there where we don't even see these homes hit the market, investors are picking up all these properties on the back end. Dallas Fort Worth market is doing so well. There are constant, Europe, like for example, Frisco. There's a Ritz-Carlton coming in Frisco, off PGA Parkway. There's a Ritz-Carlton coming up in near Dallas downtown. Um, there is all this phenomenal growth happening in the Dallas Fort Worth. There is this project called the Fields, which encompasses around 2,700 acres, which does include where Universal Studios is also coming. So it encompasses that. but this is 2,700 acres. High end, it's being built by the same people who built Legacy West. Legacy West, where they brought in, Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and they brought in these vendors. The same place, this is where they're building this other project. The growth, right now, interest rates are high. But when the interest rates go down, there's going to be a frenzy in the market. This is the time to buy because prices have been dropped by around 20%. This is the time that you buy and you hold on and you sustain. And when the interest rates go down, you refinance again. So you don't need to be an ultra high net worth person to get started in real estate investing. Policymakers recognize the potential for real estate as a gateway to wealth accumulation long ago, right? Opening the doors to the creation of numerous ways for investors to put capital to work. You can invest in a private equity fund. And this private equity fund is something that I myself am working on creating. What this basically means, it's going to be a fund. Different investors come in investing a minimum amount of money in the pool, and we accumulate that pool and we buy something together. Investing in a private equity real estate fund means trading your capital for an equity position in the company formed to develop, operate, or manage a single asset property or portfolio of commercial properties. Private equity funds offer real estate projects across the development cycle. So you should be able to find an investment that aligns with your investment objective, risk tolerance, and time horizon. So, and I'm starting a real estate. I'm starting a podcast, which I'm starting next week. It's on building wealth. If you follow me on social media, if you turn on your notification, you should get a notification telling you when the podcast is happening, when it gets posted. And of course, it is something you're able to listen to based on whatever time is convenient for you. So we're going to go more in depth on the details of investing in a private equity fund. Investing in eligible capital gains in a qualified opportunity zone. The Tax Cuts and the Job Act of 2017, it created opportunity zones to spur real estate development, ideally in an underserved or economically disadvantaged area. Here you invest unrealized capital gains in opportunistic development deals. By doing this, you can defer taxes, you can earn a significant tax benefit, you can help qualified communities revitalize by generating both socio and economic opportunities through commercial real estate projects. You're able to invest in a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. That's what a REIT stands for. You're able to invest in these. It's a popular way to invest in real estate. A REIT is a company that owns, operates, or finances income generating real estate. Congress created REITs in 1960 to allow investors to buy shares in these companies without getting involved in the day-to-day operations. So that is something that is another opportunity, and that is something else that you're able to do as well. You're able to do a 1031 exchange. So Congress amended the Internal Revenue Code to include 1031 exchanges when they passed the Revenue Act of 1921. So a 1031 exchange is known as like-kind exchange. It's basically an opportunity where you sell something and you don't have to immediately pay taxes on the capital gain because you have a certain amount of time where you're able to go back and reinvest that gain into another different project. So you keep deferring the taxes. You can invest in a syndicate. Syndicate is an established method for raising capital to purchase one property. You trade access to your capital for an equity position in the general partnership formed to purchase an existing property. So एक property है जो we are wanting to get that property, and in that property, what is created is a syndicate. So you invest your money, and in return you get you basically get an equity position in the general partnership, ताकि and that is something that is a really cool way to get involved in a big project. You're able to participate in a mini IPO. You're able to invest in a private debt fund as well. Private debt funds pool your capital along with other LPs in exchange again for an equity position in the company, formed to lend money to finance real estate projects. So investors in these type of funds are looking to diversify their source of income or replace an existing investment for one with a higher yield. These funds may be more attractive than equity funds if you have a shorter time horizon and a shorter risk tolerance. So there are all these, and then there's creative financing. Creative financing basically is something that I am doing a deep dive into. Creative financing has to do with uh, being very creative in how you get involved in a certain transaction. And there are different ways of you getting involved in a transaction. Again, it could be a transaction which is small, it could be a huge transaction in the millions, and you get involved, and there are creative ways for you to get involved in this transactions. So there are different ways for you to invest in real estate, and there are different ways for you to become a real estate investor. Real estate, like I said earlier, harnesses the power of supply and demand and channels it into your portfolio. Fundamental rules of supply and demand tells us that a limited supply of something is high demand. In high demand must result in higher prices. So there are all these ways that you're able to become a real estate investor. um, I'm starting my podcast. I am planning on, it's going to go live on Tuesday. uh, it's going to go live on Tuesday. It's called Building Wealth. um, as I enhance myself, जैसे जैसे मैं अपनी ग्रोथ के ऊपर काम कर रही हूँ, and I work on creating this syndication, working on creating this syndication. Alongside, I want to open the channels and to teach everyone everything that I learn and teach you, and help you guys build your own real estate wealth. You're able to follow me on social media. You're able to follow me on Facebook. Even right now, ये जो show चल रहा है इस वक्त, you're able to watch me in the studio. You're able to watch me do the show, stream live. I am streaming live in multiple different channels. LinkedIn के ऊपर under Saima Malik Dillon. I'm on Instagram under Saima underscore Dillon. I'm on Facebook under Saima Malik Dillon, जो मेरा personal page है. आप मुझे follow कर सकते हैं under Saima Dillon, which is my business page. YouTube के ऊपर follow कर सकते हैं. And any of these places, you don't have to even listen to me live. You can literally do this at your leisure. आप गाड़ी में YouTube पे लगाना चाहें, आप जिस तरह भी सुनना चाहें, it's at your leisure. If listening live, watching the live stream right now is not convenient for you. You're listening to Heart with Saima. We have a minute before we go off on our first break. And once we come back from the break, we are going to talk about fear. Because ये सब चीज़ें जो मैं कर रही हूँ, मैं ये सब चीज़ें कर रही हूँ because मैं अपने fear को control में रखती हूँ. अगर मैं अपने fear को control, if I give the control to my fear to take over, I would not do any of these things that that I'm doing, that I'm enhancing, that I'm learning, because कोई भी हर चीज का एक learning curve होता है, and हर चीज को you learn everything as you go along. So Here's something I would like to share before we go off on the break. This is Khalil Gibran on fear. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled from the peaks of the mountain, the long, winding road crossing forests and the villages, and in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there's no other way. And actually, break aa gayi hai, so I'm going to continue when we come back. So it is just so hot in the studio. The air conditioning here is not working, so it's really hot. Um, but anyways, I'm going to continue and finish this. So there's no other way. The river cannot go back. No one can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean because only then will fear disappear, because that's where the fear will know. It's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. And I just find that to be so brilliant. I'm going to say that again once we go back. Um, so I'm going to repeat that when we go back after the break. I'm going to disconnect from Instagram. Instagram, thank you all for being here, for joining me. And I am going to continue streaming live and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. So I'm going to continue doing that. Thank you all for being a part of my journey. On Tuesdays afternoon, I am going to start my show on building wealth. And I hope that जिस तरह मैं अपनी जर्नी को बिल्ड करती हूँ आप सब मुझे उस जर्नी के अंदर join me on that journey and you know be a part of what I create, be a part of that. So thank you for watching. I'm going to disconnect Instagram. So as you can see, there's a lot of multitasking which is going on, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I now thrive on this. Okay, so we have 2 minutes left remaining, and okay, 1 minute 22 seconds. And how's everyone doing? Thank you all for being a part of my show. Thank you for being a part of my journey. कैसे हैं? Hey Naveen, thank you for joining. Sojania, Jyoti, Shabina, Amna, Muhammad, Imran, Shahina Azhar. Hey Kamran, how are you doing? How's everyone doing? Um, so, uh, 50 seconds. Studio में it's very hot in the studio, and but no matter what happens, you keep conquering your fear. You keep showing courage. You fall, you get up, you fall, you get up, and you keep striding forward. And I hope you guys will be joining me for my podcast, which I'm starting next week on Tuesday, Building Wealth. So why not do it together, right? I think I think synergy is amazing, and synergy is cool. I think it's amazing to share every whatever you learn, you share and you build together. Hello, 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 and welcome back. You're listening to Saima Dillon on Radio Caravan. I come to you every Thursday from 1 to 2. मैं आती हूँ 1 से 2 तक आपके पास, and I come to you basically bringing my own heart अपनी हथेली के ऊपर रख के कुछ अपनी पर्सनल चीज़ें, कुछ अपनी ज़िंदगी, कुछ अपने तजुर्बे, और जो first half of the show talking about my passion, which is real estate, um, and talking about my journey, जिसकी इस वक्त थोड़ा सा अगर आप मुझे फॉलो करते हैं, अगर आप मेरे शो को सुनते हैं, तो आपको पता है कि कुछ अर्से पहले भी मैंने ये बात की थी कि आई एम वर्किंग ऑन releasing all the conditioning which holds me back as a human being, ताकि मैं एक दरिया की तरह फ्लो करने लगूं. Now दरिया की तरह फ्लो करने में ये नहीं है कि whatever comes my way I just accept it. Not really. It does mean that I do have my own intentions. I know where I want to, where I see myself. I know where I'm heading. And उसी note के ऊपर I am starting this podcast, which is called Building Wealth. And it's going to I'll have a guest every week, a guest speaker. If you would like to learn how to build wealth, join me on my podcast. And you're always welcome. VIP at simadillon.com. VIP Victor India Papa at Simadillon, SAIMA DHILLON.com. Every individual, everyone who listens to me should become a real estate investor. Every person should have investment properties that you buy and you build your wealth, and you put your, as an investor, 20% down. Or agar 20% nahi kar sakte and you work from home and you have flexibility, move into that first house where you stay for 12 months. And agar us ghar ke andar restrictions hain, stay for 12 months and then put a tenant in that property and move on to your next month. What, 5% down payment, 10% down payment? Do the minimum down payment and move into that first house if you have the flexibility. Financing karo, put minimum down into that house and move on. My number 972-244-3106, 972-244-3106. Whatever you do, send me a text message. I don't answer unknown numbers. Send me a text message. Even better, shoot me an email, vip@simadillon.com, so I can see what exactly it is you're looking for and I can get back to you. Join me in my journey as I start my podcast, Building Wealth, and let's build wealth together. So we're going to be talking a little bit about fear. You know, जैसे मैंने बोला कि these different things that I'm working on, I'm working on learning, I'm working on creating wealth, I'm working on building a fund, a private equity fund, I want to create a syndication. These different things that I'm working on, I want you all to join me. So we do it together. I think there's synergy in unity. I think there's synergy. I think we go much further as a team. So join me as I build this. मुझे कोई वो नहीं है कि मैं ये बन जाऊं या वो बन जाऊं और कि मैं किसी और को कुछ शेयर नहीं करूं. कि जो पॉडकास्ट मैं शुरू कर रही हूं, इस पॉडकास्ट के पीछे हर हफ्ते I'm going to bring a guest in. और मेरी इंटेंशन यही है कि जैसे जैसे जो भी चीज़ें मुझे पता चलें, whatever I learn, वो मैं सबके साथ शेयर करूं, and I share it with everyone. और जो आप अपना उससे सीख के करना चाहते हो, go right ahead. If you want to join me in what I'm building, you know what? Let's do that too. So whatever works, we do it using creative financing, doing these things. तो ये जो सब चीजें मैं कर रही हूँ ना, ये कोई भी कर सकता है. Um, it's not like I'm the smartest person there is, because trust me, I'm not. I was a horrible, awful student in school, in college. But the one thing that I did get from my mother, my father, what I did get was this perseverance, this ability, this courage. This courage is what I did get. And this ability to say to hell with it and to get up and to just keep going no matter what. So Khalil Gibran says on Fear, it is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountain, the long winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there's no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. And that's what this is about. It's about, as long as you're alive, as long as you're living, you keep trying and you keep doing, you keep dreaming and you keep aspiring. There is no age limit to dreaming. There is no age limit to aspirations. There is no age limit for you to go after what you desire. Whether it is you're 70 and you're single and you want to get married again. And I'm saying that because I have people who message me these things. This one lady who called this friend of mine, got divorced, then and then she got remarried. She in a few months, and when she posted her pictures on Facebook, this lady called her and told her that, hey, I'm calling you from an anonymous number, and because I don't want people to know who I am, but I'm I don't know if I think she was like 65 or 68 years old. And she said, my husband passed away like 30 years ago. And no one in my family said to me that, hey, maybe go out and meet other people. Hey, go out and get married again. She told my friend that no one in my family, my children, did not come to me and suggest that, hey, mom, maybe you should meet people. Maybe you should go out on a date, go out and meet with people. Why not? Why not? There is no age limit to living your life. She said, she was crying on the phone, and she said, Mera itna dil karta hai. My heart desires that there's someone in my life that I could sit and make chai for. That there was someone in my life जिसके साथ मैं अपने दिल की बातें शेयर कर सकूं. There's someone in my life जिसके साथ मैं ये चाय का प्याला शेयर कर सकूं. Sit and sip my tea and enjoy it and feel loved and love someone. मुझे कभी किसी ने बोला ही नहीं कि मम तुम ये कर लो. Why? There is no age limit to being happy. There's no age limit to finding happiness. Whatever it is that makes you happy. This lady was 65, 68, 70 years old. And this lady was so, she was craving love. She wanted to be loved. She wanted someone in her life to be a companion. क्यों हम अपने अगर अगर कोई भी उस सिचुएशन में होता है तो why is it a problem for anyone to get married or be in a relationship at any age? So अगर आप मुझे फॉलो करते हैं तो you already know कि मैं तो conformity में believe ही नहीं करती क्योंकि I don't conform to the rules. I don't do what the masses do. I don't care about what the masses do. I do whatever my heart tells me to do. I do not want to come up to anyone's expectations. मैं मुझे ना नेबर की फिक्र है, मुझे ना रिश्तेदारों की फिक्र है, मुझे किसी की फिक्र नहीं है. मुझे किसी की एक्सपेक्टेशंस पे नहीं उतरना, मुझे सिर्फ अपनी खुद की एक्सपेक्टेशंस के ऊपर उतरना है. I only want to come up and make sure that I am someone I can be proud of. I am someone I can look myself in the eye and I can tell myself that, hey, I tried my best and I did myself. You have one life to live. Zindagi ek baar aap jeete ho. Make the most of this life that has been given to you because it is a gift. अपनी जिंदगी सारी इसी में गुजार दोगे सोचने में कि लोग क्या कहेंगे तो who gives a damn about what people say? I mean, I don't. मैं तो अपने फ्रेंड्स लोगों को ये भी बोलती हूँ कि भाई मुझे पताओ भी नहीं अगर कोई मेरे बारे में कोई भी ऐसी बात कर रहा हो or someone has a problem with what I wear or what I am up to or what I'm doing or how I choose to present myself in society. If someone has a problem, don't even come and tell me. अगर रेडियो के ऊपर कोई मुझे सुन रहा है या कोई मेरा लाइव वॉच कर रहा है, if someone is watching me and you have a problem with what I have to say, you know what? Make your life easy and change the channel. You don't have to stay there and listen to what I have to say. You don't have to follow what I have to say. You don't have to be me. You be you, just like I'm being me. I do me. मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता कि कोई दूसरा अपनी लाइफ में क्या चॉइसेस मेक करे. मैं दूसरों की फिक्र भी नहीं करती. मेरा सारा फोकस मेरे खुद के ऊपर है. You know, what am I wanting to do in my life? What am I wanting to build? What am I wanting to create? I'm a student for life. I love to learn. I love to build and I love to create. And the other thing is I have daughters who are watching me as I take each step. वो मेरी हर कदम से आपके घर में जब लोग होते हैं आप जब घर में बैठ के when you are talking bad about others, when you're putting other people down, when you're talking bad about family members, वो सब चीजें your kids are watching you. Be mindful of your behavior. Instead of worrying about what other people are doing or what other people लोग क्या पहन रहे हैं लोग क्या कर रहे हैं किसकी शादियां टूट रही हैं किसकी शादियां मतलब इन सब चीजों के ऊपर फोकस करने के बजाय अगर आप सिर्फ खुद को बिल्ड करने के ऊपर अपनी एनर्जी लगा दो एंड इफ यू फोकस ऑन बिल्डिंग योरसेल्फ become a role model to your children. Let your children be who they are meant to be because they are repercussions when you don't listen to what people have to say, even when it is your kids. It makes a big difference when you don't listen. Your kids want you to listen to what they have to say. So having said that, fear is something that consumes us. Fear is something that stops our growth. Fear is something that stops us from growing. According to psychology research, fear is a primal emotion that involves a universal biochemical response and a high individual emotional response. Fear alerts us to the presence of danger or the threat of harm, whether that danger is physical or psychological. But, Magar, on the same token, fear also stems from real threats may be stem karta hai, but it also originates from imagined dangers. While fear is a natural response to some situations, it can also lead to distress and anxiety and disruption when extreme or out of proportion to that actual threat. So, fear can be a perceived threat, it can be biochemical, it can be emotional. Fear is a natural emotion and a survival mechanism. और हमारी intuition बहुत दफा, so I feel that as human beings we are complete, we are created so complete. As human beings, the tools that we have been given, as human beings हमें एक दिल दिया गया, एक दिमाग दिया गया है, हमारे अंदर एक रूह है, एक conscience है, we have intuition inside us जो हमें guide करता है. But when you are an overthinker, you don't know if that's your imagined fear or if it's an actual fear. And fear debilitates you. It creates anxiety inside of you. Physical reactions to fear include sweating or heart rate तेज हो जाता है, एकदम से adrenaline levels high हो जाते हैं. It's also known as fight or flight response. जिससे आपकी body prepares itself to enter into combat mode or run away. This biochemical reaction is likely an evolutionary development. It's an automatic response that is crucial to our survival. So we need to fear, we need to feel fear, and that is okay. But if you're an overthinker and your brain is always suspicious and your brain is always suspicious of people, always thinking, oh, this person is out to get me, that is out to get me, they are thinking this, they are thinking that, then that is something where you are unnecessarily giving yourself anxiety over things which might not even exist. Emotional response to fear, on the other hand, is highly personalized because fear involves some of the same chemical reactions in our brains that positive emotions like happiness and excitement do. Feeling fear under certain circumstances can be seen as fun, right? अगर आप scary movie कोई देखते हैं. But here's what the thing is. Fear is always also something which is जो आपके अंदर trigger करता है कि oh शायद. So I met this girl this weekend, and this girl said to me, that asked me, you know, these are things that you talk about. I have a friend जिससे मेरा रिश्ता खत्म हो गया है और वो हर वक्त ये चीजें बोल रही होती है जो कि मुझे ट्रिगर करती हैं. And मैं उस, so I was like, did you talk to her, did you confront her, उससे बात की? And she was like, हाँ की. And she says, yeah, but that is not my intention, that's not what I'm doing. You cannot control anyone else. हो सकता है the person in front of you is not even saying anything towards you. Maybe it's all inside you. Maybe ये सब आपके दिमाग के अंदर ये चीजें हैं. The bottom line is कि लाइफ में मैंने उसको भी यही चीज बोली कि राइट है रॉन्ग है मुझे नहीं पता, मैं कोई एक्सपर्ट भी नहीं हूँ, मगर मुझे इतना पता है, मैं हर उस चीज़ की बात करती हूँ जो मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी में इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश कर रही होती हूँ. और मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी में जो इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश कर रही होती हूँ, मैं दूसरों की फ़िक्र करेंगे कि दूसरा ये कर रहा है या दूसरा वो कर रहा है या दूसरे ने ये बातें बोली, तो आप दूसरों को चेंज नहीं कर सकते हो. यू कांट चेंज एनीवन एल्स. The only person you can change is yourself. You cannot change anyone else but yourself. In my life, I do not focus on changing anyone else because I cannot control someone else's behavior or someone else's reactions. But the only person I can change is myself. And that's what I do. मुझे किसी दूसरे की लाइफ में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, मुझे सिर्फ अपनी zindagi se sarokar hai, or and I work on changing myself, and I work on changing what my reactions. And on that note, um, you know, a couple of months back, I had a couple of so we were at my daughter's graduation, and we had a few people that we had asked, the people that are very close to us and we love, and we asked them to come to the graduation. तो graduation जैसे ही start हुई, time के ऊपर start हुई, and within 5 minutes, my daughter came and she did her walk and she was done. I thought some of my close friends that I love dearly, that they were outside, eating something, and they did not make it inside in time. So when I saw them, I said, "You guys did not come." And they were like, "No, we were there, we saw it." And they got upset at me for assuming, for reacting, "Hey, you guys did missed it." So they told me, "You know what, तुम एकदम से react करती हो." And I said, and then I thought about it, and I dwelled on it. Since that happened in June, I've actually been working on it. I've been working on it. अगर कोई चीज़ पे मुझे instant reaction हो रहा होता है, तो I stop myself. I stop myself because I don't want to have an instant reaction. And I don't want to have an instant reaction because I want to make sure that my reaction is justified and that I'm not overreacting. So my focus is not to worry about other people and what other people are doing in their life. My focus is to focus on myself. And when people point out something that is missing in me, that I work on that. So that's Heart to Heart with Saima. That's what I do. I come here and share my own life stories. We are launching my podcast, a new one. And I hope it's called Building Wealth. Email me at vip@simadillon.com and email me if you can contribute towards building wealth, and if you would like to be on my show, Building Wealth. Join me. Email me at vip@simadillon.com. And we have 3 minutes, actually 2 minutes left before the show ends. I come to you every Thursday. You're listening to Radio Caravan, 104.1 FM, 700 AM. Join thecaravan.com. You're able to go on and listen to any of the shows from anywhere in the world. So my throat is just so dry. So I had to put the music on to continue. But we are in the last minute of the show. And this is Saima Dillon. You're able to message me anywhere. From anywhere, you're able to go on social media, DM me. I do see my DMs. I might not respond to them, but I do see my DM. And when you guys message me and wish me, I do see it. 972-244-3106. You're able to text me. Um, and you're able to share anything you want with me. You can DM me on social media. The podcast for building wealth starts on Tuesday, and do join me, and let's touch lives together. This is Saima signing off, and stay safe, stay well, um, and do something good for someone, even if it's just a smile. So that was really dry throat, which was hindering बात होना मुश्किल हो गई थी. But thank you for being a part of my journey.